This evening, I have the distinct pleasure of calling up tonight one of the inspirational people that has been there and helped me to get the ball rolling for CHYE. CHYE was over a year in the planning, just before we even did our very first event. And as I planned CHYE, I went out and I wanted to see other organizations out there, see what they do, how they work, how they run. And I did web searches and I did site visits to all sorts of organizations. And one of those organizations that is called NFTE, which is the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, which is one of the largest providers of entrepreneur education in the world. And it wasn't easy to get in the door, but when I did, I met the founder and the director of NFTE, Steve Mariotti. Who's here tonight, and I bounced my ideas off of him, and he critiqued me, and he gave me other ideas, and he made himself available to me. In fact, there's one line he told me, which I'll never forget. And that line, when I met him the first time, and I said, "Thank you for seeing me and making yourself available," he said to me, "Rabbi, I know that I'm here only because other people have made themselves available to me, and I'll make myself available to you whenever you want." And so I want to let you know a little bit about NFTE. Number one, NFTE has a $20 million global budget. Okay, it's in 50 countries. It has over 500,000 graduates. Every single year, 60,000 kids graduate from the NFTE program. They attend a 65-hour program over the year, and 60,000 kids graduate every single year. Steve started it on his own. He built it up to the organization it is today, and it's my pleasure as we launch CHYE to call up this man who has inspired me so to share some words of inspiration with us. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. What? I'm so happy to be here. It's just a great joy. And Rabbi, I got to tell you right now that you are really, really good leader. You really are. We're here to celebrate your leadership, and I'm extremely impressed. And I'll pledge $1,200, and it's a beginning, and I'll do whatever I can I'll do whatever I can to help you guys build this. It's a really, really cool thing. People come to see me all the time from all over the world about youth entrepreneurship. That's my field. I've been doing it for 32 years. And so when you came, I was thinking, well, there's usually one person every year that gets something started, which is a lot. But I see maybe 50 to 100 people. You did it. And just, I'm just really impressed, and I'm flattered to be here. How many entrepreneurs do we have in the room? People with small businesses. You guys, thank you for coming. You create the jobs, you solve problems, you support the educational community, the health communities, you create the wealth. So replicating yourself with younger people, that's really, really important. And that's the beauty of what we can do right here. I'm not going to talk very long, but I just want to tell you quickly my own story. I got started in this field 31 years ago. In 1981, I was a small business person in New York, manufacturing representative company, very proud of it, about 300,000 in sales, and I got mugged on the Lower East Side of New York during a crime wave in '81. For those of you my age, you'll remember that time period. And it turned out to be a great thing for me because I restructured my life and I went into teaching, and I became a specialist in teaching young people how to start businesses. And I spent 8 years as a high school, junior high teacher. And I started writing in 1982, and it turned into these books. And I'm glad to donate as many as you need, Rabbi, but they basically are lesson plans for teachers on how to work with young people. And this is the #2 selling textbook in college in America. This is the #1 high school book in the world in 50 countries. So we've done really well. And thank you. Oh, wow. So thank you. So in 1987, 88, I wanted to create an organization that specialized in youth entrepreneurship, and I founded the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And every year we've grown a little bit, and we do have a $21 million budget globally. We have teachers in 50 countries, and we essentially do three things. We write and produce curriculum, and we partner with publishers, Pearson and Microsoft and Google. We make curriculum for young people. Our specialty is ages 11 to 25. That's our sweet spot. And the second thing we do, we find the best teachers in the world who want to teach young people. Many of them are entrepreneurs who have a second career, and we put them through a 4-day teacher training. And that's key. And you learn the 50 lessons, and you learn how to work with young people. And then the third thing we do is we have an alumni service program. We have 500,000 alumni. And so I'm really proud of that. So what I want to tell you is that there are three basic findings from the 3 decades that I've spent doing this. One, in your community, there will be some young people that are gifted in this. And many times, they're not welcome by the school system. They have trouble at jobs, what have you. And they have a gift many times in small business and entrepreneurship. If you can start through this program identifying them and nurturing them and welcoming them, you will find over a decade some of your top young entrepreneurs will come out of this program right here. They'll be in this room. They're in this room now. And they'll create your jobs and your wealth and build the community and do a lot of great things. And they can network through us or other communities with young entrepreneurs around the world. Thank you. The second finding is it's a great way to talk to young people about getting a job and talking to those who don't want to start a business, which is the vast majority of people, about how they can add value to a small company or to any organization. They can learn income statements, balance sheets, how to sell, comparative advantage, how to market, how to think through a branding issue, how to work with other people, how to build teams. And I think that's extremely important. The third finding of these 3 decades for me has been that in your school systems, for younger people, if there are young people that are having trouble learning math, reading, or writing, this was my specialty, talk to them about small business. That part of our brains are wired into entrepreneurship, into ownership, into the creation of wealth. And if you can get inside there and talk to young people from that perspective, all of a sudden they start to do math, reading, writing, and they blossom. And it's a really beautiful thing. So to give you, to close, and again to say that any way I can be helpful, I will do that. And Rabbi, I stand with you because you've got the leadership, really. It's a huge asset to have that in a community. The leaders are really everything. But I'll give you just an idea of how I think about young people and entrepreneurship. And I'll give you 6 things that every young people in your community should learn. Number 1, the concept of unique knowledge. That each person has something unique that they know, whether it's time or space or a skill or just something about the marketplace where they can make a livelihood, either as an entrepreneur or as an employee. There's always a way to make a livelihood. Number two, every young person should know how to do their goals and a very simple life plan or business plan around those goals. Number three, every young person should know the concept of comparative advantage, that there's something that they can find where they can compete against anybody in their community, make a niche, build networks, sell to other people, buy from other people, create wealth. You want to create a wealthy, dynamic community, which is part of your heritage anyway, so it's a beautiful thing. Four, everybody should learn to sell something. Five, every young person should learn the basic financial statements, cash flow, income statement, and balance sheet. And most important, each young person should find a vision for their life, what they want to do, what they enjoy, and work toward that plan. I've seen this type of program, Young Entrepreneur Program, blossom and thrive all over the world. And I'm just really flattered to be invited, and I'm just think it's really cool to be here. So I really appreciate it. Rabbi, should we take a couple questions? And would you like to do that? Sure. Great. So that's what I wanted to say, and thank you. Thank you. So why don't we take 3 or 4 questions, and then we'll just... Yes?
So how important is entrepreneurship to a community? How have you seen other communities change through this initiative?
It's extremely... Oh, how important is entrepreneurship to a community? I think it's the lifeblood. I think it creates the wealth, the jobs. The entrepreneur solves the problems. They fund most of the charitable activities. I do want to say that, and I don't want to embarrass you, but Inc. 500, you're an Inc. 500 winner. That is a big deal. 187, I think. That means he started a company that's 187th fastest growing company in America. So it's an honor to have you here. Mazel tov, all right. But it's what you're doing is the key to economic development. I see it everywhere I go. It's our hope for the future. It's how to solve problems and nurturing young people and getting them into this, and they're thinking about it all the time. It's really over a 10, 20-year period. It'll be the key generation of wealth. Yes.
I'm in a business where it's a service that I'm offering, and I want to train young people. So how do we train others in a way that they're not going to become our competition, but build up the wealth? So we're all working together, but it's beneficial for everyone.
It's extremely important question. And your question, if I understood it right, was how do you give back by hiring and teaching a young person about the business without being worried that they violate your trade secrets, your copyright, your patents, your trademarks, and take your livelihood? It's a huge issue. I always think of it that if you treat somebody well, they will always look out for you. We've had, I think, 800 former employees in NFTE, and I would always worry about that because we're in an intellectual property business. But I found that over time, almost all of them ended up helping us. Like they would start something that was complementary. Also, there's a whole craft to intellectual property protection and contracts that a local lawyer will know how to do, and it's always good to make it clear, I'm going to teach you, but you can't take the intellectual property here and use it to compete with me. Get that out in the open. I do that all the time. Okay, one last question, Rabbi?
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you give an example of a comparative advantage? And is that an asset that one can develop, or is it one that is actually just given to him naturally?
Oh, good question. You're welcome. Comparative advantage is seminal concept invented by David Ricardo in London in 1818, and it basically argues that you have a unique skill in a marketplace relative to everyone else. I believe everybody has that, and it's based on unique knowledge. And I think it both is God-given and is a talent that you have within you, but also I think you can also develop it. I think it's both. I'll take one last question and then we'll wrap up. Yes, Mayor, right?
Yes.
Hi.
Very good.
Thanks. That's my comparative advantage, by the way. So.
I, with a number of other people, are on the advisory board of CHYE, and one of the challenges that I think I've taken a little bit more personal is how to enlist existing successful business people in really getting the startup funds that are required to really get this off to a running start. And I just was wondering, in your experience, if you could give any pointers as to how we actually can go out and do that.
I would love to talk to you about how to raise capital for that. We raised $1 million for a fund from Prudential that we had a venture capital fund. And we give out, I think, $350,000, $400,000, which is not a lot of money, but it's a start to young people to start businesses. There's a craft of fundraising, and I'm eager to talk to the advisory board and to help you think through your niche and how to communicate with people that would love and support this program in this community. And I'm eager to talk to you about that. So, great. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.